Tombstone, Arizona Territory, May 10, 1885. The trial of Winnie Joe was in its last day. All that was lacking was the verdict.
Never took me this long to tell a man I was grudging against him.
I like to think the jury's on your side, Winnie Joe.
I'm a wolfer. I never knew a man who killed wolves for a living that wasn't grudged against him. Frank, look there. Them Beaumont brothers. Him's the one. They fixed this whole thing up against me.
Can you prove it?
I know it. I know it now. Ain't that enough?
I'm afraid not.
Look at them. Look at them. They want me to be convicted. Them and everybody else.
Winnie Joe, you're getting your trial.
Yeah, that's because you offered to be my lawyer.
I bet he knows. Nobody listens to what he knows. His lawyer listens. Yeah, I reckon he does. Well, then he must know, too. Winnie Joe must have told him. A losing lawyer and a convicted man. Who's going to listen to them? Yeah, but suppose. Just suppose he isn't convicted. Nobody listens to dead men either. Not even in Tombstone.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Since the issue was still in doubt, I set up two headlines. Westerby innocent, Westerby guilty. A man who deals in death is bound to be disliked, Clay, even when he only kills wolves.
Well, killing wolves is one thing, but poisoning 400 head of cattle?
Do you really believe Winnie Joe did that?
I don't want to believe it, no, but it was his poison that killed him. That wolf bait he uses.
But what would he gain by it? There's no sense, no reason, no motive at all.
You sound like Winnie Joe's lawyer.
Clay, Mr. Clyburn, Frank won his case. Winnie Joe's innocent. He's free.
Now, you know, I always did favor this one. The afternoon of May 11, 1885.
Hello, Frank.
I'm conferring with the client, Sheriff.
Yeah, so your wife told me. I need your help.
I'm sorry, Clay. I'm a real estate lawyer now. I establish legal claims to property in Boot Hill.
Frank, you knew Winnie Joe better than anybody in Tombstone.
Nobody else would bother.
Well, somebody bothered enough to put 3 bullets in his back. Why?
I wish I knew. Do you?
Well, maybe he knew something that he shouldn't have. Something about poisoned cattle.
Maybe so.
And maybe he passed that information on to you?
And that'll put me in danger. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's right.
Well, I don't know. Give me some time to think about it, will you, Sheriff? I'm still pretty upset.
Wait a minute, Frank. Look, that killer isn't going to give you much time to think. If Winnie Joe told you anything important...
I don't know what's important to that killer. Winnie Joe told me many things.
Well, he must have mentioned some names.
He probably did. And a lot of innocent people, too. If I started naming names, I'd make the innocent ones into suspects.
And it might save your life.
What about their life?
All right. But you better leave Tombstone for your own sake. Boot Hill's getting overcrowded.
I'll think about it. No, I can't name names. I just can't play grab bag with personal reputations.
Shooting, Sheriff. Who got it?
Frank Calloway.
Oh, he drawing you?
No, he was shot from ambush. Give me a hand, will you?
Ain't quite dead, is he?
No, not yet. Just never mind those gloves. Put some pressure on here. Aside.
Ever figured Frank for enemies, did you, Sheriff?
I do now.
Well, reckon one of us ought to tell his wife. I'm going that way.
I'll take care of that as soon as I get him to Doc Cunningham. Now help me get him on the horse.
My husband's been hurt, Clay Hollister. You've no right to keep me here.
If you'll just hold your temper.
You let me by.
Now, wait a minute. Your husband is safe. He's over at the doctor's office. He's out of danger.
He's hurt. He needs me.
He needs you most right here.
I want to see Frank. Oh!
All right, now, Libby. You're going to listen.
I will not.
Yes, you will.
Oh.
There's a stage leaving for Tucson in exactly 1 hour. That'll give you time enough to pack and...
Tucson?
That's right, and meet Frank down at the stage depot.
Our home is right here in Tombstone.
Frank's home is going to be in Boot Hill unless you leave.
Well, then why don't you start protecting him, Sheriff?
I'm trying to.
How? By sending us to Tucson? Why don't you just send everybody to Tucson?
Libby.
And you can hand Tombstone to all the killers and outlaws you can't
Libby.
handle. You let me away. I'm going to go see Frank.
Look, Libby, you've got to understand. Frank is safe over in the doctor's office, but the minute he sets foot on the street, bingo.
It's your job to protect him.
It takes time. I'll get the killer, but I don't want to use Frank as bait.
Bait?
That's right. You got to help me keep Frank alive.
Well, I guess I better start packing, huh?
I'll get you tickets. Round trip.
Can I join the party? No. This time I want to make sure it's going to be right.
Sure, when there's a killing to do, it's my party.
If you'd finished, Calloway, this wouldn't be necessary.
You really think it's going to keep him quiet?
It'll help.
Just a moment.
Mrs. Calloway, I got a message for your husband.
What kind of a message? What do you think you're doing?
Hey, you got room for a couple more passengers?
Sure thing, Sheriff. Got to be special nice to people from now on.
It's a new policy.
New for me. I may be looking for another job real soon. Some talk about the railroad coming down this way.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. When's it due to happen?
Might not be long. There's some land buying out west of town. Who's the passengers?
Huh?
Who's the passengers?
Calloway's, Mr. and Mrs. They're going to Tucson.
I'll be mighty nice to them.
Morning, Harris.
Morning, Clay. Say, how's Frank Calloway?
Oh, it's just a shoulder wound. He's going to be all right. What's this I hear about a railroad coming in?
Yeah, great thing for town. I've got a map of the proposed route.
I just heard about it this morning.
Yes, a lot of people just heard about it this morning, including the man who's supposed to know all and tell all. I imagine the railroad's been trying to keep it quiet till they can buy up the right-of-way they need. The roadbed is going to skirt the town on the north, in this area here.
Well, I thought that was private property.
It was. From what I understand, they've bought this piece on the left and this strip over here on the far right.
Boy, somebody must have made a killing.
Yeah. The Beaumonts. Ben and Cliff, wouldn't you know?
This grazing area right in the middle. It's where the cattle were poisoned.
Mm-hmm. Eddie Cogan's land. Great terrain for a roadbed. Railroads pay the limit for flat land like that.
Well, he could use the money after losing those cattle. Does he know about this?
I don't know. But he will. The epitaph will have it today.
Oh, that's funny. The railroad should buy the Beaumont land, not Cogan's. I wonder why. Can I borrow this?
All yours.
Oh, Clay. Oh, Harris. Look, I just found out about that railroad land. You were wrong about it.
Well, it happens. Even to me.
Eddie Cogan doesn't own it. He leases it from the Beaumonts.
Leases it.
That's right. A good long lease. Too long for Cliff and Ben.
Well, I'm afraid I don't follow you.
Well, look. The railroad wants that land real bad, right? The Beaumonts stand to make a fortune if they can sell it. But they can't sell it so long as Cogan has any claim to it.
Well, they can buy him out of his lease.
Or force him out. Oh, there was one thing you were right about, Harris. Winnie Joe didn't have any reason to poison those cattle. The Beaumonts had every reason in the world.
You don't know that. You need evidence.
I'll get it.
How?
Oh, I don't know right off. First thing I gotta do is get the Callaways out of this shooting gallery.
Lippy. Who was it? Tell me.
Clay, I don't know. I don't know.
It's all right now. It's all over.
They said it was a warning for Frank. I don't understand it. I don't know what he means.
I think I do.
Clay, we'll go to Tucson, like you say. Frank and I will go.
You might not have to now. This glove, where did it come from?
It's a man's glove.
Yeah, I know.
The one who was here, he must have left it here. I guess I put up a better fight than I thought.
Sure looks like it. Come on, let's get you to the doctor.
Oh, no, Clay, I'm all right. Oh, Clay, I'm all right, thank you.
I'm not so sure of that.
Yes, I am, really.
You think you're well enough to make a positive identification?
Oh, Clay. Clay, don't ask me to do that, please. Don't ask me any questions about this man. Frank will be killed if I...
The afternoon of May 13, 1885.
What took you so long? To get my face fixed up. But damn, she's a wildcat, what you did to me.
Yeah, what'd you do to her?
I like scratches on my face.
Never mind your face. How is she?
Scared silly. She'll make sure that her husband keeps his mouth shut.
Hold it, Ben.
What happened to your face? You cut yourself shaving?
Yeah, my hand slipped.
That's kind of clumsy of you. Now, you're wearing gloves?
Now, Clay, you know you don't wear gloves shaving.
I thought maybe you might.
That ain't Ben's glove.
No, of course it isn't. This glove belongs to the man that ransacked the Calloway house and beat up Mrs. Calloway. A real gentleman.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Try it on. Try it on.
Don't do it, Ben.
You trying to accuse me of something, Hollison?
Well, if the glove fits, yes. If not, I'll offer you a public apology. You better try it on.
Hold it. That's far enough.
Now, pick up your brother's glove. Gonna need it for evidence. This is the same saw Winnie Joe used. I thought you'd like to know.
How's my brother?
He's dead?
Look, Sheriff. It was Ben's idea fixing those charges. He thought Winnie Joe would be convicted for sure.
Well, he wasn't. He had a pretty good lawyer. You're gonna need a better one.
May 14, 1885. There was another fresh grave on Boot Hill for Ben Beaumont.
Prisoner Clifford Beaumont, age 34, is charged with the murder of Winnie Joe Westerby, the attempted murder of Frank Calloway, and the poisoning of more than 400 head of cattle.
What's the matter?
Oh, I don't know. I could have prevented this whole mess, do you know that?
How?
Winnie Joe insisted that the Beaumonts were mixed up in his case, but I wouldn't listen to him. I didn't even tell Clay about it.
Well, why not?
Principles. I was afraid of accusing innocent people.
Frank, where are you going?
I'm going to take a walk. Give my principles an airing. Do you want anything, honey?
Yes, you. And your principles.
The afternoon of May 14.
Howdy, Mr. Calloway.
Well, hello, Hank.
This here Beaumont fellow. All the complaints they got against him, they're going to have to hang him with a half a dozen ropes.
He's only got one neck.
But they will hang him. I hear they can't even get nobody to defend him. Serves him right.
Not in your own private massacre, Frank?
Clay, who's defending Cliff Beaumont?
Defending him?
His lawyer, who is it?
Oh, I don't know yet. I don't think anybody in town wants anything to do with him.
Hasn't anybody been appointed yet?
No. No good lawyer would want to sit in the same cell with him.
I'll take his case.
Hey, you two'd make a fine pair.
No, I mean it, Clay. I want to defend him.
Let's go over to my office. Fight this out in private. This is the guy that shot you, Frank. You, Winnie Joe, and the devil knows how many other people.
Mm-hmm. Did he confess those shootings?
Well, that's not the point.
No, it's the point. Did he confess?
Well, no, not yet, but there's no doubt.
Well, then why bother with the trial?
What?
No, I mean it, Clay. If everybody's convinced that Cliff Beaumont's guilty, why don't we just
walk into a cell right now and kill him.
Now you're talking foolish.
No, I'm not. A trial now would be just a waste of time and money. So why bother?
Well, you know better than I. It's the law.
Exactly. And the law demands a trial. And the law says that a man's innocent until proven guilty. And the law says that every man, rich or poor, bad or good, is entitled to his day in court. Here.
Where are you going?
I'm to see my client.
Not a chance.
Look, Clay. Winnie Joe Westerby was a useless old man. The only things he could do well was lie, hate, and poison wolves. Now, he was accused of something he didn't commit. But if he hadn't had a trial, a fair trial, we never would have known he was innocent.
Well, Cliff Beaumont isn't Winnie Joe. He's the guy that put that bullet in your shoulder, remember? And he stood by while his brother beat your wife.
Sure, I remember. And I hope he hangs for it. But if we have to cheat the law to punish men like Cliff Beaumont, we just better change our ways, that's all. Now, please, Clay, let me have a private...
I'm not going to let you in there alone with him. Somebody's bound to get hurt.
Only if somebody gets out of line. A prisoner has the right to a private conference with his attorney.
All right, Frank.
Hello, Cliff.
What's he doing here?
Let him tell you, I can't. If you want anything, I'll be in the office.
All right, Cowboy, what's this all about?
Well, you needed a lawyer. Nobody else wanted the job. So I volunteered.
You volunteered? Why?
I don't think you'd understand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd hock your degree to lose this case, wouldn't you?
No, on the contrary, Beaumont. If I could win your case, I'd be considered the biggest attorney in the West. Now, look, you just settle down and we'll start discussing everything. Now, there's certain things that I think I must demand.
You ain't taking any chances, are you, carrying that gun?
That's right, Beaumont. In my considered opinion, I considered you the lowest form of human life. But I learned in law school that any human being, even one like you, deserves a break in court. Now, if you'll just settle down and stop making things a little different. I guess you asked for this. Clay! Clay! I can't talk to my client in this condition.
Oh, I guess you can. Are you all right?
Oh, I feel better than I felt in days. He made a grab for my gun.
Yeah. You know, if I'd known you had that, I'd never let you back here.
Well, now, nobody could have gotten hurt. That gun isn't loaded.
All right, Counselor, you've had your moment. Conference over?
No. Here, help me get my client up off the floor. He's entitled to some rights, you know. Clay, this doesn't change anything. Come on, boy.
Good luck on your case. I sure hope you lose.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory. I had just pulled the proof of an advertisement that caused me concern. Birdcage Theater, 2 days only. Whitey Beck's fabulous extravaganza starring the one and only Billy Denver, the world's fastest gun. Well, good morning, Mr. Beck.
Well, good morning, sir.
Want to take a look at this?
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, oh, yes, that ought to do it.
Say, tell me something, Mr. Beck. Have you run this same powder-baited ad in the other towns you've played?
Naturally.
And no trouble?
Well, who would want to make trouble for the fastest gun in the world?
Well, just offhand, I can name about 24 gunslingers in the territory who would consider it an honor and a great pleasure to challenge a fool boast like that.
Thank you for the advice. But we're perfectly able to protect ourselves, Mr. Claiborne.
Well, in any event, you've advertised your man on the right sheet. The epitaph. An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
Promoter Whitey Beck refused to heed the warning. Tombstone's Birdcage Theater was to feature the fastest gun in the world.
Mr. Beck? Oh, that's right, sir. Whitey Beck.
I'm Clay Hollister, sheriff here.
Well, I'm delighted to know you, sir. What can I do for you?
Well, Mr. Clyburn, the editor of the Epitaph, is a little bit worried about the wording on this ad and on that bill.
Yes, I know. He told me.
Might be a little bit risky to bill the star of your show as the fastest gun in the world. Somebody might take offense.
Well, so long as they pay cash for their tickets, I don't mind. I'm in show business. I run this ad to attract people. That's how I make my living.
Appreciate that, Mr. Beck. I make my living keeping the peace. Wouldn't want anybody shot over this.
Oh, Mr. Hollister, this is 1884. Why, the day of the brawling gunfighter is over.
Out at the west end of town there's a graveyard. Boot Hill it's called. Take a walk out there sometime and look at the dates on the grave markers. Some of them aren't over a week old. On some of them the flowers haven't even withered yet.
I don't anticipate any trouble.
Well, just the same, tell your boy to walk easy. Friendly suggestion.
Oh, Harris.
Hi, Clay. Would you talk any sense into him? Is he going to change that ad?
No, he says the day of the brawling gunfighter's over.
Oh, boy, there's going to be trouble.
You worry too much.
And with reason. Every gunfighter in the territory is going to come buzzing into Tombstone like flies around a honey jar.
Well, I still got my fly swatter. Maybe I ought to lock that honey jar up after every performance.
Clay. Isn't that the Pierce brothers?
Yeah, Dick and Johnny.
I worry too much, he says.
My. That little old Billy Denver must be quite a man. Fastest gun in the world. Ain't that something?
Sure must be a whiz, all right.
Well, howdy there, boys. Yes, sir, it's a great show. The fastest gun in the world. I hope you'll be able to make it. Oh, we're gonna make it all right. Ain't we, Dick?
Yeah. You wouldn't miss that for a whole corral full of cows.
No, sir. Wouldn't miss this shooting. Not for a million cows. Think little old Billy can beat shooting like that, Grandpa? Well, hello, Clay.
Hello, Dick. Johnny? $10, please.
Oh, shucks, Clay. We're just having a little fun, that's all.
Will you have any more fun, and you'll be my guest for the next 30 days.
Clay, the boy's just a little wild. He didn't mean anything.
$10.
Pay the man. But Dick, pay the man.
Now, you stay out of trouble.
Don't you worry none, Clay. I'll keep an eye on it. Go on.
Like flies around a honey jar.
July 29, 1884. Billy Denver, the fastest gun in the world, arrived with Lizette, fragile flower of the footlights.
That's a shoddy-looking group.
Well, it's good to see you again, Billy.
We're always glad to see you. Meal ticket, aren't you, Whitey?
Hello, Lizette.
Hello, Whitey.
Who are those tramps?
Come on over to the theater with me, Billy. There's something I want to talk to you about.
I asked you a question. Who are they?
I don't know what their names are, Billy. But believe me, they're dangerous.
Oh? Well, I'm dangerous too, Mr. Beck. The fastest gun in the world, they call me. And you know something? They're right.
Billy, let's go on over to the theater. It's right over here. Come on, this way.
My, ain't he the pretty one, though?
Yeah.
Look, Billy, I said the same as you, that no man would go up against you. Now I'm not sure.
Billy,
Yeah?
don't try to prove anything. Everyone knows how good you are.
And every day I'm getting just a little bit better. Just a little bit faster. Watch.
See? Maybe I should branch out a little.
What do you mean?
Well, got me a reputation. I'm the fastest gun in the world. That's only half the reputation I need. Maybe this is the time and the place.
Well, come in, Sheriff Hollister. Billy?
I heard. I got ears.
Sheriff Hollister, this is Lizette, Mr. Denver's assistant.
I'm glad to meet you, man.
Well, Mr. Hollister, what's your trouble? Have you say?
All right. I will. You know, a man shouldn't come into a town, especially this town, wearing a chip on his shoulder.
A man shouldn't hide his light under a bushel.
Have you spent much time in the West?
First trip.
Don't make it your last.
Meaning?
Well, did you ever shoot a man who was facing you with a gun in his hand?
No. But I figure a man makes a much bigger target than a clay pigeon.
And much more dangerous.
He's right, Billy. Listen to him.
Oh, and incidentally, if you figure to go out on the town, you might wear something a little less conspicuous. And leave your guns here. That way I'll be sure trouble won't come up.
I go anywhere and wear anything I please.
Quarter loads.
So? Well, did you ever try to hit a moving target with a full load 45?
No.
Quite a kick, and very dangerous. That's what the boys out here use. Bye, Mr. Denver.
You make sense, Billy.
Both of you, get out of here.
Someday, Billy.
Someday, nothing. You couldn't get along without me, and you know it.
I couldn't get along without you, Billy. I need you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't need anybody. Just my eyes, my hands, and my guns.
Everybody needs somebody. Someday you'll find that out.
Ready?
Ready.
That's shooting, man. That's real shooting.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah? He's almost as good as you were. Almost.
No trouble, Johnny.
Oh, no trouble. You know that.
Do I, Johnny?
Sure you do.
I can trust you then?
With your life.
I'm trusting you with yours.
I'm gonna take good care of it.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Like I better have a talk to Johnny.
Now who's worrying?
Wait for him outside. Come on.
Well, I'm heading back home. You coming?
Don't get in too often, Dick. I think I'll hang around for a day or two. Okay?
Make it a day. And don't drink too much.
You're getting to be a regular worrywart.
I only got one brother. I like having him around.
Gonna be around for a long time.
Dick! Johnny!
Yeah, Lawman, something bothering you?
No, I don't know yet. You gonna behave yourself tonight?
Johnny won't give you no trouble, Clay. He gave me his promise.
Is that right?
You heard him.
Make sure you don't make any trouble. Otherwise, you'll be boarding with us for a long time.
Yeah.
See you, Johnny. One day, no more.
A few seconds is all I need.
Sheriff had a good idea. Full loads.
Billy, you're an actor, an attraction. You're not a gunfighter.
I'm the best on the stage, and I'm the best on the street. The fastest gun in the world, and the deadliest gun in the world. I'll show you. I'll show everybody. Move.
Johnny Pierce was on the town looking for Billy Denver and trouble. He found them both at the Crystal Palace.
Oh, excuse me. Whiskey straight.
Sit down, I'll be with you.
My, you're the prettiest thing I've seen in this town in a long time.
Is this a saloon or a stable?
Maybe you've had enough to drink, Johnny.
I ain't had enough. I ain't had near enough.
Clumsy ox.
How to get your nice, pretty shirt all dirty?
Johnny, please get out of here.
You shouldn't have done that.
You know who I am?
Yeah, I know who you are. You're the fastest gun in the world. Says so right out in front of the theater. That's what it says.
Johnny, go someplace and sleep it off. You're in no condition to choose
Just a minute.
anyone.
Let's see how far you'll go to back up your loud mouth.
Please, mister, he's in no condition.
Glad you did that. I'm real glad. Now I'm gonna show you how fast you ain't.
Please, gentlemen, stop before it's too late.
You're gonna get it now, fast gun. You're gonna get it. Draw!
Let's go. All right. Anybody else don't believe I'm fast? Anybody else want to take a chance? All right, boys. Drink up. Name it, gentlemen, name it.
Get the corner. All right, mister, what's your story?
It was Johnny's fault, Clay. He asked for it, but he was pretty oiled. He didn't have a chance, not a chance.
It was self-defense, pure and simple.
Self-defense? You came in here looking for a fight. Gunning Johnny was like shooting a baby. You're just a tin gunfighter. Let me tell you something, Billy. You just started to die.
Maybe you'd like to try your luck?
Don't push yours. Now get back to your hotel and stay there. Move.
July 30, 1884. There had been one killing. Sheriff Clay Hollister didn't want another one.
What do you think, Harris?
I think we better get that conceited bonehead out of Tombstone before Dick Pierce hears about Johnny.
Well, even if he doesn't hear about Johnny, he's going to come looking for him. I better go over to the theater. Try to get Mr. Denver on the stage who's leaving tonight. Give me my hat, Neely.
Want me to come along?
No, you stay here. Keep an eye out for Dick. If you see him, stop him.
He's not too good a man.
Well, I'm not either. What do you want? You, on the stage leaving town tonight.
Oh, that's impossible. I have a performance to do.
You're not going to be performing ever again if Dick Pierce catches up with you. He's no drunken setup like his brother Johnny.
You mean you still doubt my ability to defend myself?
When a man really wants to kill somebody, he's got an extra edge on his side. And Dick Pierce is really going to want to kill you.
The house is sold out, Mr. Hollister. We just can't afford to walk out on it. There's another stage in the morning. We'll be on that.
I wouldn't count on it. There's just two ways that you're going to get him out of town. Quick or dead. Try to get him on tonight's stage.
Let's go tonight, Billy, please.
The fastest gun and the deadliest gun. That'll read real nice, huh, Whitey? I already got myself one notch. I might as well try for two.
I guess you don't need anybody but yourself, Billy. I guess you don't.
No. But you need me.
The night of July 30, Billy Denver was making his second appearance at the Birdcage.
I'm going around to the stage door. You keep an eye out for Dick, and if he comes along, stop him.
There's been an ugly rumor that I can't use anything but quarter loads. Well, tonight I've been using full loads, and I haven't missed a shot. You ready, Lizette?
Ready.
Dick.
No trouble now, Dick. Don't aim to give you any trouble, Lee. That's good, because
In case you think I was lucky.
luck's run out, mister.
What do you want?
You killed my brother, now I'm gonna cut you to pieces.
No!
Stay away from him, lady.
Stay out of this, Lizette. Well, folks, gonna get your money's worth tonight.
You're gonna die tonight, Billy. Ain't the same as facing a kid who's been drinking, is it? Scared? Sure you're scared. All right, Billy. I'm gonna call it. Ready? 1, 2. Get out of the way, Clay.
No, Dick.
Get out of the way, Clay.
You gonna shoot me? Lee? You're gonna be on that stage leaving tomorrow. And if you're smart, you won't come back.
I'm sorry about Johnny, Dick. But, I better keep this until he leaves town.
I still got my other gun.
Oh, Billy.
You're lucky, Billy. Dick would have shot to kill. But you won't be using those guns of yours anymore. The show's over. Better find yourself a new star.
June 1, 1884. Tombstone said goodbye to Billy Denver. He was glad to say goodbye to Tombstone.
I guess everybody needs someone. Well, I guess for Billy the glory's gone.
Maybe he's found something better to take his place.
Boy, he sure was good. Outdrew his left gun. I wonder what would have happened with his right.
I guess you'll never know.
That's all right with me.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, the morning of June 19, 1882. A day that started out about as quiet as any.
Did I understand you right? Did you say you ain't going to Durango with the rest of us? Was that what you said?
I said I don't have no score to settle in Durango.
Sure you do. We're gonna kill Doc Holliday in Durango.
It ain't that easy.
Why not? There's 5 of us.
Doc Holliday's the fastest gun there is. Ain't got any reason to mix with him.
Well, I do.
Well, you mix with him then. I'm out.
Mace!
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
The afternoon of June 20, 1882. Lee?
Oh, hello, Harris.
Lee told me I'd find you here.
All right, you found me.
There's one mistake no man's supposed to make, least of all a sheriff.
What's that?
Getting caught in a crossfire. I'm talking about you going up to Durango after that Texan. What's his name?
Ed Mace.
Well, that's the crossfire. Him and Doc Holliday facing it out sooner or later. You in between.
I'll try to duck.
It's no joke, Clay. You're risking your life for nothing. Doc Holliday is going to get Mace. You know that. I could print the story today. Doc Holliday shoots down man who killed Tombstone deputy.
Well, Harris, I prefer Tombstone jury says man who shot deputy to hang.
You'll never read it. Holliday's going to get him.
Not if I can help it.
Well, that's just the point. You can't help it. But you can get yourself killed in the trying. Is it worth it?
Look, Harris, Will Hutch is dead. He was shot down by a cheap Texas gunman who was on his way to Durango. What do you want me to do? Sit around and wish that he were here so I could arrest him?
You couldn't arrest him if you were there. Durango's not in your jurisdiction.
I couldn't arrest him as a sheriff, but I can as a deputy marshal. I was sworn in an hour ago. You know the real reason I'm going. Will Hutch wasn't just a good deputy, he was a good friend.
Here's your bacon, Sheriff.
Oh, thanks. I'll see you, Harris.
Where's the sheriff heading, Mr. Clyburn?
Into a crossfire. It was a long ride across the Mogollon Rim to Colorado. June 23, 1882, Durango. Mace and his men arrived well ahead of Clay Hollister.
Howdy.
My horse needs a shoe.
I'll be finished here in a couple of shakes.
Don't hurry.
You a stranger in town?
That's right.
Fixing to stay on?
I might. I'm looking for an old friend of mine. I heard he was up this way.
Yeah? What's his name?
Doc Holliday.
I didn't know Doc had any friends. Oh, no offense.
Know where I might find him?
I hear Doc's been at the Royal Flush Saloon every night this week. Running real lucky. You a poker player, mister?
Now and again.
And I hear Doc's real tough to beat. A man can't bluff him.
Man might not have to get out drawing.
You talking about cards or guns, mister?
Just talking.
Be with you in a minute.
He'll be at the Royal Flush Saloon tonight. Tell the boys to keep apart and stay out of trouble.
Later that afternoon, Sheriff Clay Hollister approached Durango and headed straight to the marshal's office.
Of course, there's no telling when he's going to go for Doc Holliday or where. He might have been just talking big, you know, about coming up to Durango in the first place.
No, I don't think so. He killed one of his own men just because he wouldn't come along.
Well, killing a man is one thing, Sheriff. Going up against Doc Holliday is quite another.
I still think he'll try it.
I better stay as close to Holliday as I can.
Holliday won't like that.
I'll try to keep him from finding out.
Suppose you do. Let's say you find Ed Mace like you planned. Didn't you say he has help?
3 men.
Figure on taking them all on?
No, I figure on getting help.
Here. All right, Hollister. I'll do what I can.
Thanks. You know where Holliday is now?
Nope. But I know where he's going to be tonight. The Royal Flush Saloon.
I call you, mister, and raise you $100.
I think you're running one, Doc. Beats me.
Pair of 5s. Mister,
What's the matter?
when a gentleman leaves the company of other gentlemen, he usually excuses himself.
No offense, Doc. Excuse me, gentlemen.
That's better. Deal.
Need a new player, gentlemen?
Why not? That's what we're here for.
Mace is the name. I'm Farrell. This is Henderson. Maxwell. I guess you know this is Doc Holliday.
Howdy. Run them. Run them, run them!
Jacks are better.
It's up to you, Mr.
Mace. It's a common name down around Dallas.
I was in Dallas about a month ago.
I know. I'll bet $50.
I'll play.
Did we meet before, Mr. Mace?
It's up to you, Doc.
Call.
I pass. Cards?
3.
Next 3.
3.
Hello. All alone?
Three 10s. The newcomer's good for my luck. Run him. Whiskey.
Right away, Doc.
Told you to keep an extra bottle at the table at all times, didn't I?
Sorry, Doc.
Expect me to drink out of this? It's filthy. You didn't think that was very funny?
Not very.
I don't like people who disagree with me, Mr.
Mace. Ed Mace. Brother of Arnold Mace.
Who's Arnold Mace?
The man you killed in Dallas a month ago.
Is that why you're here?
That's why we're here.
There are a couple other people here, Mace.
Stay out of this. No interruptions.
Everybody stand still.
What do you want? You're holding up the game.
I want him. You're under arrest, Mace, for the murder of Will Hutch, deputy sheriff at Tombstone.
Get up slowly, Mace. Durango, Colorado, June 23, 1882. The patrons of the Royal Flush were amazed that Doc Holliday was still alive.
If I were you, I'd get out before he comes to.
Doc doesn't like any interference with his business.
Yeah, well, I'm interfering. Easy. Easy.
They got away, didn't they?
Yeah, but you did all right.
All right. This was a present to me when I graduated from dental college in Baltimore.
Pretty good present. Saved your life.
How do you like the nerve of him? He broke up my game, broke my flask, and tried to kill me. Mr. Mace has trouble coming.
I'll take care of Mr. Mace.
He's asking for it.
Mister, I was playing a nice, quiet, profitable game of poker until you open your mouth. Now close it, get out, and stay away from Mace.
He's mine.
Over my dead body. You better go back to Tombstone.
Doc. I will. Just as soon as I've found Mace.
You can draw first, mister. 2 guns.
Nobody's as fast with both guns.
You're lucky. You get another chance to clear out.
Just as soon as I find Mace.
Don't push your luck, lawman. Next time we meet, if you insist, your arm is liable to be all better.
I've never seen Doc act like that.
Neither have I.
Must not be
If I were you, stranger, I'd just let that arm bleed and bleed and bleed.
They get away?
Oh, they're deep in the Red Rock country by now.
Where's that?
Southwest of us. It's a haven for a man on the run.
Pretty rugged?
Bad as it comes. Gorges, mountains, draws, ravines. You can't track a man. And you can't see him 10 yards away from him if he doesn't want you to. Looks like you're going to have to wait till he comes out, Sheriff.
Go through this again? No, thank you, Marshal. I'll take the rugged country. Thanks for your help.
June 24, 1882. The Red Rock country of Colorado.
I'm not better yet?
Well, he's coming along.
We might as well ride together, huh?
Break up the monotony.
I have another reason. You're better at tracking than I am.
By the way, my name's Clay Hollister.
Never heard of you.
The afternoon of June 24.
Those tracks aren't over a day old.
You tell how many riders?
Not for sure. More than 2 and less than 5.
That fits. Is your arm bothering you?
Yeah, I guess it's a sling.
Let it be. I'll take a look at it when we make camp. Who tied that?
Marshal.
He's a slob. Well, no wonder you were in pain. The circulation was just about cut off. You're lucky you haven't had gangrene already. Got any more bandage?
Yeah, saddlebag. Dentist, huh? Where'd you ever practice?
In Georgia.
Why'd you come out west?
I have consumption, mister. Or haven't you heard?
I'm sorry.
I'll leave this loose for the night. You should be able to draw in no time.
Thanks. Anything you can take to relieve that?
Maybe a bullet someday.
Doc?
Yeah.
Where's his brother, Arnold? What did you ever kill him for?
I don't remember.
The morning of June 25, 1882.
Hey, you know something? You're right about that circulation. Don't need to sling anymore.
I'll send you my bill in the morning.
We found them.
Looks like they found us.
Cover me.
Don't do it, Doc. They're trying to draw you out.
It works, doesn't it, Mace? You could have had it quick and easy. One clean hole. Now you're gonna have 100 little holes. I'm gonna pepper you to death. Come on out, Mace, and take it clean. Carter, shotgun!
There's only one left, Mace.
I'm not so sure he's left. But I'm going to find out.
Hold on, wait a minute. He's mine, remember?
How's your arm, Sheriff?
I guess you could say it's all better.
Now, look, Sheriff, I'm grateful for your help. But I'm taking Mace.
He's my prisoner.
You can still make the first move. Sheriff, I want Mace. You're gonna have to draw.
Over a dead man?
All right. right, Sheriff. Now you can have them.
Just another one for you to forget?
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, September 2, 1885. With the arrival of the morning stage, a series of events began that brought Clay Hollister to grips with a criminal type unknown to wild and woolly Tombstone.
Where can I get a carriage around here? There's a livery stable right down the street.
New arrivals acted with the assuredness of those who knew what they wanted and where they were going. A few miles from town, the second happening took place in this series of events.
Good afternoon, folks.
Hello, Aaron.
George Camden.
Aren't you glad to see us?
What do you want?
We want your ranch, Aaron.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone territory.
The late afternoon of September 2, 1885.
Clay? Aaron. Clay, I'd like you to meet Miss Patricia Camden. Miss Camden? And this is her brother, George. Clay Hollister. What brings you to Tombstone, Mr. Camden?
Well, it's a business matter, Sheriff.
That's why we came to see you, Clay.
I understand you notarize a transfer of property.
Among other things?
Well, the courthouse is closed. I wonder if you'd take care of that for me.
You're selling the double T, Aaron? That's right. Well, it's taken you 2 years to put it on a paying basis.
Well, we made him an offer that he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, it says for valuable consideration.
Everything is in order, Clay. Will you put your seal on it?
Surely. You're not going to be leaving Tombstone, are you, Aaron?
Well, as a matter of fact, he isn't. He's staying on with my sister and me.
George and I aren't really capable of managing such a large ranch without help.
Thank you, Mr. Hollister.
It's been nice meeting you.
And you.
Well, there's something to be said for being a landowner. Of course, you know all about that, don't you?
If you're asking if I miss my home in Boston, the answer is yes. It was wonderful.
Well, you made your own choice. You've done pretty well these past years, Aaron. since you ran off with all our money.
You'd have done the same thing to me if you'd had the chance.
And left you to serve 3 years in a filthy prison as I did? Well, that's all in the past.
And now what?
Well, it's taken quite a while to find you, Aaron. Too long, I suppose, for there to be any of that money left.
It's almost all gone now. Most of it right here in this ranch.
So now we start all over.
Not me, George.
You're still wanted in the state of Massachusetts, you know.
But I'm here in Arizona. And there's no extradition, George.
You know that. Hey, you came up with a winning hand, didn't you? Patient Aaron left with the money and his freedom. Well, those things won't do you any good 6 feet under. Now, as I said before, we start all over. This forsaken place is just made for my talents.
Now, look, George, I've lived here almost 3 years. I know Clay Hollister. You can't get away with a thing.
You've played a pat hand quite a while, Aaron. But now I hold the winning hand. And as for your sheriff, he's a clod.
Don't underestimate Sheriff Hollister. He's no man's fool.
Well, if he's no man's fool, maybe he's a woman's.
Saturday afternoon, September 5, 1885.
Mr. Hollister!
Hello.
Oh, good afternoon.
How are things out of the Double T, Miss Cameron?
A little more settled now, thank you. We'd like if you would come out and see what we've done to the ranch.
Oh, I'd like that.
How about tomorrow? An early Sunday dinner?
Thank you very much.
You'll come then? 2 o'clock.
I think I can make it. Tombstone kind of tames down on Sunday.
Well, we'll see you then. Bye.
Aaron, I bet that was the best meal ever served at this ranch.
Why, thank you.
Certainly the best I ever had in Tombstone. And the prettiest cook. How do you like ranching, Mr. Camden?
Well, frankly, it's much more of a job than I thought.
Oh?
He's working harder at this than anything else he's ever attempted.
Matter of fact, Aaron and I have some work to do this afternoon.
On Sunday?
Well, I'm sorry, dear. I know Mr. Hollister understands. You can entertain him. Excuse me.
Won't you sit down, please?
Thank you.
Have you ever been in Boston?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, you'd like it there. It's full of history.
Well, we're still making ours.
I never thought of it that way. Oh, here's a picture of the Boston Common. I was brought up in Boston.
A quiet Sunday afternoon in Tombstone.
When Mother died, there wasn't much left for us in Boston.
Well, what made you decide on Tombstone?
George's idea. He'd looked at some ranches in West Texas and decided he liked this part of the country better.
I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will now. But isn't it dangerous being a sheriff?
Sometime.
How many men have you killed?
How did we get on this subject?
You're right.
Well, now that's finished. I hope you weren't too bored, Mr. Hollister.
Hardly.
Could I get some refreshments?
Not for me, thanks. I have to see if the town's still there. Excuse me. Thanks again.
You're always welcome.
Miss Camden, bye.
Goodbye.
Did you enjoy yourself, my dear? Evidently, Mr. Hollister did.
This was your idea, George.
Monday morning, September 7. Sheriff Hollister was summoned to the bank of Tombstone.
You the only one that knows the combination to the safe?
Why, yes.
Is there anybody that you suspect? Any of your clerks?
None of them, I'm sure. I've been robbed 6 times in the past, at gunpoint. Never had it done this way.
Yeah, it is kind of slick for Tombstone. Oh, hello, Harris. Make quite a story for you.
How'd they get it open? Somebody must have known a lot about safes. Figured the combination.
A safe cracker.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Well, Tombstone attracts all kinds of people.
Yeah, Tombstone does.
Do you think Racklin could have done it?
Ah, it's too obvious. Besides, why would he wait till Sunday? He's got access to it all week long.
Well, you check on everybody that comes into Tombstone. Do you think some trail hand could have opened that safe?
No, this was done by a professional.
Well, then it must have been someone outside of Tombstone.
Camden. Well, he was working on the books.
You were with him?
Yeah. But they left me alone with Patricia most all afternoon, so they had work to do.
Well, Aaron used to run that ranch by himself. Why all of a sudden is there so much work to be done on a Sunday?
Where does that leave Patricia? You don't suspect her, do you?
Do you? What are you going to do, Clay?
Hello. Clay, I just came from the bank. George and I had money there.
So did a lot of other people.
I understand it happened while you were with us out at the ranch. I'm sorry.
Are you?
Is there anything you can do?
Yes, there is. I'll let you know.
Well, if there's anything we can do. I'm truly sorry, Clay. The way he looked at me, I'm sure he knows something.
Well, that's impossible. What'd he say?
It's not what he said, it's the way that he acted.
Could it be that there's a hidden rapport between you and the sheriff? Well, even if he thinks he knows, what proof has he?
I still think you made a mistake coming here. Before Hollister closes in, there's still time for you to...
I told you what I thought of your bumpkin sheriff.
You're so smug, so sure of yourself.
There was a time when you were as confident in my judgment.
Why don't you just leave? Take the money and leave. Hollister doesn't give up.
Well, if he doesn't give up, it wouldn't do me much good to run, would it? And if he suspects me, it doesn't leave me much choice, does it? Getting rid of him will give me great pleasure. Great pleasure.
George, take the money and leave, but please don't kill him.
He won't kill Hollister.
The night of September 7, 1885, George Camden rode for Tombstone. He wasn't alone.
This is your last hand.
It's me, Clay Aaron. Don't shoot.
Sit down and start from the beginning. It's the first time I ever shot a man, Clay.
Was Patricia in on this?
No, she wasn't. When George told us what he'd done, we tried to make him return the money.
You didn't know anything about it when it happened?
No. I was working on the books. George said he was going into town. Something about a meeting with a cattle buyer.
Why didn't you say something about it that night?
I didn't think anything about it at the time.
Why did George try to kill me?
He thought you knew he pulled the robbery. He said he was going to leave town, but first he was going to kill you to get you off his back. I couldn't let him kill you, Clay.
No, you couldn't, could you?
Patricia Camden waited at the Double T. Only one man returned.
Well, you still up, Patricia?
What happened? Where have you been?
I had a little talk with George.
Where is he?
He's dead.
Dead?
That's right.
You?
Seems I held a winning hand after all. You didn't think I'd let him take the Double T away from me, did you? Or leave him alive so he could blackmail me?
What about Clay?
I saved his life. To him, you and I have been the unwitting victims of your brother's greed. Well, the money's been returned. It's all over now. Where are you going?
I really don't know, but I'm getting away from here.
You're staying. Just for appearance's sake. When I decide different, then will be the time you go.
Aaron's story just doesn't ring true, Harris. Why didn't he just hold George? Take his gun and hold him until I got there.
Well, you're going to have a hard time convincing folks that Aaron is anything but a hero. He saved your life, and he recovered the money of a lot of people. September 14, 1885. Patricia Camden was seen in Tombstone for the first time since the funeral.
Afternoon.
Clay,
Sorry I couldn't be with you at the cemetery.
it would have seemed a little strange. After all, my brother did try to kill you.
Are you planning on staying on?
For a while. There's no place to go.
What about your family?
There is no family. Not after this.
I'm glad you're staying on. I'd like to know more about you, what you are.
What I am? What am I? I really wish I knew.
Aaron, thanks to you, we still got a good sheriff in Tombstone.
I just did what any man would have done.
Modest, ain't he, Sheriff?
Means you really are a hero, Aaron.
You deserve a reward, but there wasn't any offered in town, so I wired Boston. It's where George came from. I thought he might have a past. Boston police are checking on it. I should know in the morning.
The afternoon of September 14.
Mr. McLean! What time is your friend coming by?
You say the stage leaves at 9:30 tonight?
Yes, sir, 9:30 sharp.
He'll be here just a few minutes before. And don't you forget, you save a seat for him.
Don't you worry.
The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Clay Hollister confirmed his suspicions at the stage depot, while Aaron McLean was being toasted at the Arcade Saloon.
Drink Aaron with me.
Here's the elect.
Just in time, Sheriff.
No thanks.
We're drinking to Aaron.
I said no thanks. The sheriff never drinks when he's on duty. Isn't that right, Clay?
That's right, Aaron. Boys, a toast to the man who saved our money and the sheriff.
That's a fine group of men.
Yeah.
Oh, Clay, I was going to drop by and see you later at the office.
What about, Aaron?
Well, it's Patricia. Well, I was hoping you might stop by tonight and maybe have a little talk with her.
Well, I guess I could.
Oh, fine. That'll do her a lot of good. Say about 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
You hear anything from Boston?
Oh, tomorrow. You'll be the first to know.
p.m., September 14.
You startled me.
That's a bad sign, Aaron. Nerves.
Really? Why should I be nervous?
Aaron, many things you are, but a clever murderer you're not.
I'll show you how clever I am. I asked Clay Hollister out here tonight. You're going to entertain him while I leave on the night stage.
Aaron, do you realize how ridiculous you sound? You're talking just like George. Why, you're even copying the way he tricked the sheriff.
You shut up.
Don't worry. I won't say anything. You have my word. You'll slip somewhere. He'll get you.
It's him. It's Clay Hollister.
Hello, Patricia. Aaron. I hope you don't mind my coming early. Aaron said 9 o'clock.
Not at all.
Good. Things kind of quiet around town.
Oh, glad to see you, Clay. If you'll excuse me.
Oh, don't go. I'm sorry that I haven't seen much of you lately, but Aaron said that...
I haven't felt much like seeing people.
Yes, he said that you'd been a bit upset. He feels kind of natural guilt.
Well, he did what he had to do.
How about a drink, Clay?
Not for me, thank you, Aaron. No, I just had an early supper. Sit down, relax. By the way, Aaron, Charlie down at the stage depot asked me to tell you something. There's been some mix-up. There won't be a seat for your friend on tonight's stage, after all. Come on out, Aaron.
You leave me alone, Hollister. I'll shoot.
I said come out.
You knew all along. That's why you came early tonight. You knew I was leaving on that stage.
That's right.
You'll never take me. I'll win the last hand. I always do.
Not this one, you won't. Now come on out or I'll start shooting.
I saved your life, Clay. If it wasn't for me, you'd be dead.
Well, thanks. But I'm not the jury and I'm taking you in. Now you going feet first? Let's go.
And what about the charges still pending against Aaron in Massachusetts?
They won't matter much if he's hanged in Arizona.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Clay. Bye, Miss Camden.
Clay, what's going to happen to me?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the jury.
Things could have been so different. I'm sorry, Clay.
So am I.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory.
You're a respectable looking lot for a change.
I think I see an old acquaintance.
A woman friend, Harry?
Acquaintance, Clay. Acquaintance. Miss Dixon?
Yes.
I'm Harris Clyburn, editor of the Epitaph. I don't know if you'll remember me. We met a few years ago in Kansas City when you were such big news in the suffragette movement.
It was a few years back, Mr. Clyburn. It's nice seeing you again.
Miss Dixon, you feel Tombstone is ripe for the suffragette movement?
I wouldn't know. I'm no longer with the organization. I'll be dealing faro at the Oriental. Good day, Mr. Clyburn.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Name, Julie Dixon, appeared on the register of the Cosmopolitan Hotel.
Room 17, Miss Dixon.
Thank you. Do you have a Sam Dixon registered here?
No, ma'am, we don't.
Recently?
Well, I can't be expected to keep everybody's name in mind. We have a fast turnover here in Tombstone.
Could I look at the register for the past few weeks?
Well, we're not supposed to, Miss, what about my money?
I don't recall saying it was yours.
Richie Farrell, owner of the Oriental, had struck it rich with his lady faro dealer.
Hello, Richie.
Hello, Hollister. You got a hankering to join Richie Farrell's faro game, too?
Oh, no, thank you. You're smoking those expensive cigars again.
Thanks to our new dealer.
Betting's closed. 10 not part of the action. 8 loses, 4 wins.
Business hasn't been so good since Big Nose Kate went through here in 81.
Where'd you find her?
Can you set up?
Bell. You ought to know better than that. Can't have you drinking alone. It's bad for business. These new entertainers are mighty independent.
4 not part of the action.
Oh, I found Julie over in Tucson, working for Billy Bennett. She found out I was running a table here, asked me for a job. Good idea, Hollister?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she can take care of herself.
6 loses, 9 wins.
I just don't figure it, Clay. She was one of the drivingest suffragettes of them all, and that's going some of those gals.
Yeah, well, Richie just told me that when he found her, she was dealing in Tucson.
What would make a woman change so completely?
How about money? That changes a lot of things.
6 of hearts, 6 of spades, king of spades.
Well, now, I finally beat the lady. A little short there, ain't you, lady? It's 4-1 when you call a turn.
Not on a cat hop.
Cat hop? I don't know nothing about cat hop.
A cat hop is when 2 of the last 3 cards are paired. Calling a turn in that situation pays 2-1. You'll find it in the rules on page 47.
She's a natural-born dealer, Harris. She got ice water in her veins.
She's a cool one, all right. Must kill a woman of her background to make her live in this way. Take a good look, Clay. You can't say that's a happy woman.
It's about time for those cards to start going the other way, isn't it?
Surely you're well enough acquainted with Pharaoh to know it's a game of pure chance. Luck isn't with you.
That's just what I mean. It's about time luck started coming my way.
Top card is 8, not part of the action. Jack loses. 5 wins.
5-1, lady.
You were on the 5 to lose. Your bet was coppered.
You accusing me of cheating?
Yes, I am. Take your money back. You're no longer in the game.
What's going on?
The lady accused me of cheating.
Look in his left hand. You'll find the token he tried to sneak off the deck.
There you are, ma'am. No need for the gun.
You vamoose. If I see you in here again, I'll have you thrown in jail.
Take a rest, Julie. All right, get things back to normal.
Oh, Miss Dixon. You handled yourself like a veteran.
One of the first things a dealer learns is to be on guard.
And the same goes for sheriff. Should you ever need one, my name's Clay Hollister.
Thank you.
Julie.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Sorry about that blow-up, Julie. Of course, you must expect some rough ones once in a while.
I know, Mr. Farrell.
Well, she can use a friend, Clay. She's out of her element.
You looking for someone?
Has a Sam Dixon been in here recently?
Your man?
My brother. I think you'd know him if he came in. He drinks a lot, gambles even more.
No, I don't remember anyone by that name.
Well, better freshen up and get back to work.
Belle Winters had been around. She knew men. She also knew what was troubling Julie Dixon.
I brought you a relaxer.
I don't drink.
What are you doing?
Looking for a name?
If you're still fooling around with that crazy notion of yours, it's about time you had a drink.
You sure you haven't seen Sam around town lately?
What makes you think you'll find him in Tombstone?
He was heading this way from Tucson.
The sprees he gets on, it's a wonder he didn't end up in China.
Then I'll just have to keep going until I do find him. I'll come face to face with him one day if it takes the rest of my life.
You know something? I really think you mean it.
Why do you think I took this up? Because I like it. I hate every minute of it, but I'd do anything to find him.
Tom Scott was just a man. It's only been 6 months. You'll get over it.
Not in 6 months or in 6 lifetimes.
You had quite a thing for Scott, didn't you? You know, what makes you think he was any different from any other man? Man, I think your brother did you a favor by killing him.
I intend to return the favor.
September 15, 1883. Julie Dixon became a familiar figure at the stage depot. Now, you see what I mean? She's met every stage and she's come to Tombstone.
Well, maybe she figures like I do. Sooner or later, everybody comes here.
She's looking for somebody, that's for sure. I wonder who.
Oh, come on, you worry too much.
Somebody or something changed her.
Ah, the Oriental. That other place didn't look too bad to me. Come on. Let's get back on the other side of town, Dixon. What's the matter with you? Nothing, except I'm loaded with pay and burning to take a crack at them tables. You ought not do that, Sam. That's a fancy place in there. Somebody might recognize you. Who's gonna recognize me around these parts? Come on, I feel lucky.
You always feel lucky.
September 16, 1883.
Mail was in. A few circulars.
Thank you, Lee.
Could I speak to you, Sheriff Hollister?
Oh, Julie, what can I do for you?
Well, I need your help.
Yes?
Lee.
I know a lot of people are wondering how a suffragette becomes a faro dealer. It's unusual, I guess, but I thought it was the best way to find my brother.
Is he a dealer, too?
No, I wish he were. He's always on the other side of the table. Gambling's an obsession with him, but... well, he is a good man. And since my father died about 6 months ago, he's all I have left.
You haven't seen him since?
No, he never did like to stay in one place for too long.
Just what is it you want me to do, Julie?
Find him. If I could just talk to him, I'm sure he'd listen to me. Maybe he'd settle down, make a life for himself. My father left us a little money.
You must love him very much.
I do. He just got started off on the wrong foot.
I'm afraid I'd never heard of a Sam Dixon in Tombstone.
I know Tombstone attracts a lot of gamblers. I thought at last I'd find him here.
What kind of work does he do?
Oh, he can do most anything. I have a picture of him. He's had a lot of experience riding herd.
May I keep this? I'll ask around.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. If you should see him, I hope you'll keep it a secret. Sam's the independent sort. He wouldn't like to think of his sister taking care of him.
I understand.
Isn't that the lady faro dealer?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a woman is she?
Kind that doesn't belong in Tombstone.
Hollister told me of Julie's visit to his office. He found himself pledged to helping the girl find her brother, and also committed to turning him over to the authorities in Silver City, where Sam Dixon has shot and killed a man over a card game.
You know anything else about Julie?
Nothing. Like all suffragettes, her background was respectable and dull, as far as I could tell. What do you think you'll do?
I don't know yet.
Well, maybe her brother isn't even in Tombstone.
Maybe. If he is, the best thing I can do is find him and get him out of here fast before she finds out about it. And I better start looking.
I'll keep this out of the paper.
Thanks.
Trail herding was a likely job for a man avoiding the law. Clay Hollister checked the ranches and camps outside Tombstone. He learned that Jim Kenny had been hiring trail hands for the past 3 weeks. The morning of September 17.
Oh, Jim.
Howdy, Clay. What brings you out here?
Looking for a man. This one. Does he work for you?
I don't ask any questions of a man as long as he does his work with the herd.
Come on, does he work for you?
I'd rather not say.
Well, it doesn't make much difference. I'll find him anyway.
Trail hands won't like me for this.
They won't know, Jim.
Well, what's he done?
He killed a man in Silver City, Jim. Where is he?
Good afternoon's ride from here. They'll be bedding down at the southern foot of the Dragoon Mountains.
Much obliged.
Why, thank me. I didn't help you none.
That's right.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Is Sheriff Hollister in?
No, I'm afraid he won't be back before tomorrow morning. Is there anything I can do for you? He's gone out to pick up that man on the poster.
I'll talk to Mr. Hollister tomorrow. Thank you.
The night of September 17. Clay Hollister approached the trail camp at the foot of the Dragoon Mountains.
There's a rider coming up the trail. Maybe a lawman looking for somebody.
A lawman?
Yeah, I thought I saw his badge flash in the moonlight. Anybody in trouble around here, they better hightail it.
You get out of sight, Sam. We'll try to stop him.
Thanks, Will.
Well, howdy, Sheriff. What brings you up here?
Looking for Sam Dixon. I understand he's riding with you, fella.
Somebody sent you out riding for nothing, Sheriff. We don't know no Sam Dixon, do we?
Nope. Are you the only lookout?
That's right, I'm the only one.
Where's Dixon?
Now, look, Sheriff, you doubting my word? I told you, we don't know no Sam Dixon.
How come there are 3 bedrolls and only 2 men?
Oh, now, looky here. If you...
All right. First man that follows me gets shot.
We got a long ride, boy. It's up to you whether you make it back in one piece or not.
September 18, 1883. I had to assume Clay Hollister would return with Sam Dixon. All I could do was try to keep Julie out of the way.
Morning, Mr. Claiborne.
Morning, Fred.
Looking for someone?
Yeah, Miss Dixon.
She left a little while ago. Didn't even have breakfast.
You know where she went?
No idea.
Well, thanks, Fred.
morning, Mr. Clyburn.
Well, hello, Miss Dixon. You, waiting for Clay?
Yes.
Well, now, you know, he won't be back till much later on today. I was still at the hotel looking for you. I thought maybe if you hadn't had breakfast yet, you'd give me the pleasure.
Not today, Mr. Clyburn.
Well, you'll excuse me.
Don't go through the door, Mr. Clyburn. I'll be forced to kill you. I mean it. Move away from the door. Been waiting a long time for this.
Well, Julia.
Drop the gun, Sheriff. Told you I'd catch up with you, Sam.
Look, Julia.
I said drop it. I'll shoot the first man who tries to stop me.
Ain't no use, Sheriff. This is between me and my sister. Go on, Julie. Kill me. If that's what you're planning to do.
Now, hold on, Julie. He's wanted for murder in Silver City.
He's wanted for murder right here.
He wasn't any good for you, Julie.
Stop it. Who are you to judge him? What have you ever done that's been worthwhile? You're crude, you're weak and spineless. You always have been. Tom was a man who...
Julie, I can afford to tell the truth. They're hanging me in Silver City. So it don't make no difference what you do. Sure, I killed him. I killed him for you, Julie.
For me?
For you. I was hoping you wouldn't end up like Belle. That's right, Belle Winters. He did the same thing to her as he would have done to you.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sam.
She was a nice girl once, till he got his corrupting hands on her. And you see what she is.
If what you say is true, that was a long time ago, before I met Tom. A man doesn't stay bad.
Some don't, maybe. But not Tom Scott. He was uptown and downtown at the same time.
What do you mean?
I mean he was seeing Belle again while he was going with you. I'm in a position to know, Julie. I'm downtown, remember?
I don't believe you.
Look, Julie, I saw them together. It was the same as seeing how you'd end up. So we got in a fight, and I killed him. And that's why I killed him. For your own good, Julie.
No.
Well, at least I told you. You can believe what you want. But like I said, I'll be hanging in a week. I might not be if I hadn't run from my first killing.
Get his gun, Sam.
Thank you, Julie. Much obliged for the favor. You hold him here. Give me plenty of time to ride.
Well, what about me? They'll bring charges against me.
Oh, no, I wouldn't worry about that, Julie. You've had lots of time to learn all the tricks. Just do a little smiling at the judge and you'll get off in no time. Faro dealer. Sure had you pegged all wrong, sister. You're as bad as Belle. There'll be two charges, Julie. Aiding and abetting, murder.
I can at least testify for your past character. You might get off. If that's any help.
It isn't.
That's the way it happened. In the town too tough to die.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory. The night of July 16, 1885.
Now I'm going to show you how I used to keep order in Deadwood. You wouldn't shoot an unarmed man, would you?
No. But I'm still going to stop you.
Sorry, Sheriff. But you're meeting a man that knows every fighting trick in the book.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
Trouble visited Tombstone the morning of July 10, 1885, when the Black Marshal of Deadwood rode into town.
Harris? Come here.
You know who that is?
Well, up jumped the devil.
Looks like his arrival's going to make the front page.
It sure will.
Whose arrival?
What's more important is what's he doing here, and who's he after? Who do you suppose he is after, Clay?
Well, looks like he's after you. He's headed this way.
Gosh, Mr. Clyburn, who is he?
The Black Marshal of Deadwood arrives in Tombstone. Daggett, reputedly one of the toughest and most brutal marshals in the Western Territory.
That might be libel, mightn't it?
Not if it's the truth.
A man ought to be careful what he prints.
A man ought to be careful what he does. You've made my paper before, Daggett. The Postel brothers.
They was robbing a bank.
Well, they must have been mighty hard to capture. You shot all three of them.
Who are you hunting?
No badge. No hunting. And no news.
There's been no news ever since you left Deadwood almost a year ago.
I've been moving around.
Looking for something.
All right. I'm gonna live here. Settle down. That is, if you got no objections.
I got no objections if you settle down.
You printing your paper about me coming here, you're just asking for trouble. Sure, I handled a lot of wild ones in my time. I treat them rough. I hate them all. But if you advertise about me being here, some of the survivors are liable to come here to try and get me. In which case, I'd just mess up your whole town, sweeping up the streets with
You don't much sound like a man about to settle down.
Just 'cause I'm gonna settle down don't mean I'm a setting duck.
What does it mean, Daggett?
Sheriff, you're looking at a rancher. I just bought me a little spread.
Cattle?
Cattle comes later.
Well, what about right now?
Chickens.
You mean a black marshal at Deadwood who's here to raise eggs?
Yeah. And that means there ain't no news.
I'm sorry, Daggett, but that is news. That is a story.
Don't print it.
You believe his story?
Of course not. You?
I don't know. He might be ready to settle down. And then again, he might not.
Was that really the Black Marshal?
Floor all swept, Ben?
No, sir. Well, is it true that he lost count and quit notching his gun?
You're still not very interested in becoming a journalist, are you?
Well, none of it means sweeping the floor all the time, Mr. Clyburn. Sweeping's for ladies.
Something else is bothering you, Ben. What is it?
Vacation's over soon. I have to go back to school.
Well, don't you like school?
Yeah, I like it all right. But after school, I sweep up for the teacher, too. I guess I'll have to be a sweeper.
July 14, 1885. When a bundle of the epitaphs was tossed off at Silver City, one reader showed an unusual interest in the article about the Black Marshal. The afternoon of July 14.
You shouldn't come up quiet like that. My man's blindside. Well, this will help the fire. Grass and leaves are damp.
Just a minute. Something on the front page you might want to look at.
So he's in Tombstone.
Where you going?
Where do you think I'm going? I can still see to shoot the man that left me this way.
Yeah, I had all the stuff sent up in his place on Cottonwood Creek.
Hey, Billy. Clay Hollister learned that Daggett had purchased an unusual amount of ammunition for a man who claimed he was becoming a rancher. He rode out to investigate Daggett's true intentions.
Hold your arm looser, not so tight. It wasn't your fault you missed that shot. This gun shoots high. I gotta fix the sights.
You better go on back to town. Mr. Clyburn's looking for you.
There ain't no law on teaching a kid how to handle a gun, is there?
There might be, unless you got a good reason.
Well, I got a reason. The hawks is bothering my chickens. I'm gonna pay that boy a bounty. 5 cents for every hawk and 2 cents for every rat. First, I gotta teach him how to shoot a gun. You don't believe that, do you?
You're a rough man, Daggett. Kind of hard to believe that the Black Marshal is turned into a rancher.
Ah, shoot! Shoot! Get out!
Well, maybe you are a rancher, but it doesn't seem like you like it.
Of course I don't like it. It's too quiet out here.
Quiet?
Sure. For 30 years I had a whole flock of people to protect. I did my job.
And now you're protecting a flock of chickens.
No, I guess in a way I'm still chasing rats. Only now it's the four-legged kind.
Remember that. The two-legged kind are my job.
July 15. Two riders closed the miles to Tombstone. July 16, 1885.
4, 5, 6. 6 hawks.
Thanks, Mr. Daggett. I don't think I'll be out tomorrow. I don't think there's another hawk in the territory.
Oh, I don't know. I seen one of them gliding around this morning.
Flapping its wings?
No, just kind of gliding along like it was going to set down.
Well, that must be a buzzard.
That ain't no buzzard. There ain't nothing dead out there.
Well, except 6 hawks.
Look, where there's chickens, there's hawks, live hawks. And I expect you to take care of them for me. I think maybe you better come on out tomorrow, huh?
Thanks.
Hello, Harris. Well, Clay, look at this. Order from Daggett for an ad to be run weekly till further notice.
What's it about?
Eggs for sale. Just gives the location of the ranch, no name.
There's something funny here.
Can't hardly read his writing. I've got an order from him on my desk signed while he was still marshal. It wasn't copperplate, but at least it was legible.
You think maybe he's not Daggett?
Oh, no, he's Daggett, all right. Maybe he's just not the same Daggett he once was.
Where did they get you?
In the wrist.
It didn't heal?
Broke all the cords.
That's why you have Jackie to shoot the hawks.
Well, I'm too old to learn with my left hand.
Why do you keep carrying the gun?
Well, they find out I'm crippled, I'm dead.
I guess you're right. You made a lot of enemies.
I was born with enemies. Never done nothing about it. Never could and won't now.
Why didn't you settle down in some eastern city? Someplace you'd be safe.
Oh, that's kind of hard to answer.
Well, go ahead and try.
Well, you take a sea captain. He's going to retire. Where do you think he'd settle down? In Dodge City or maybe in Nantucket?
Just can't keep away from the action, huh?
I figured if I couldn't be part of it, at least I could see it unfold. So here I am in Tombstone.
Well, you can't see much from Boot Hill.
I figured this was the best place for protection. People tell me Sheriff Hollister does a pretty good job.
With you in town, he'll have to do a better one.
Well, I better get going. Oh, Sheriff, why don't you drop out to my shack some night for some grub? I'll tell you how I used to handle the hard cases in Deadwood. Maybe give you some pointers, and we can talk about old times. That is, if you don't mind talking about old times.
I don't get much time to talk.
All right, Sheriff. Protect the citizens and count me in. Tombstone's got a new citizen.
Wonder how long we can keep him.
July 16, 1885.
We're looking for a man named Daggett.
Mr. Daggett, the old marshal?
Where is he?
I don't know. Comes in here every Friday night for one drink. Just one. Every Friday evening.
Alone?
Yeah, always alone. He don't seem to have any friends.
He's been pretty busy making enemies.
Harris, you got anything on Tom Grady and the Kenley kid?
Grady and Kenley?
Yeah, they just rode in. I got a hunch they're not sightseeing. Looking at Deadwood.
Deadwood? You think they might be down from there?
I think they spent some time there.
Well, your hunch is right. Grady and Kenley, arrested 2 years ago in Deadwood.
I guess we know why they're in town. Well, you getting yourself all duded up? You headed for town?
What do you want?
A couple of riders drifted in. A man by the name of Grady and the other one called the Kenley Kid. Friends of yours.
I ain't got no friends, remember?
Yeah, let's call them customers then. When I'm wearing a black patch on one eye?
I found them hanging around Deadwood just about the time a gold shipment was coming into the bank.
And you jumped to conclusions.
I jumped and I was right. Kenley tried to resist and I had to manhandle him.
The black patch.
So now he's trying again.
Do you know any good reason I can lock him up?
Sure. To protect him.
They're not going to need any protection tonight.
I'm in the habit of going to town every Friday night for one drink.
Now you've had your Friday drink, stay here.
And tend the chickens? You think the two outlaws are going to make me hide?
Nope. But I sure hope I can.
Well, you ain't going to dictate to me.
How about telling me what's inside you, Daggett?
Oh, a whole lot of hate, I guess. Been in here for 30 years. You see, Sheriff, I never was much of a ladies' man. You can tell that by this ugly face of mine. But once I met the prettiest girl in the whole territory. And she didn't want no ladies' man. She wanted a big, ugly, uneducated guy like me. An outlaw killed her the day before we was to get married. That's hate.
Well, sure, go ahead and hate him all you want. But even if that wrist had healed, you still couldn't do anything about it. This is my territory, remember? If you're going to live here, you better live peaceably. Time for you to relax. And don't go out tonight. I see you got one friend. I'll see you around. But not tonight. I thought you'd already had your Friday drink.
Now you listen. I ain't interested in no drink and I wasn't interested in staying home. I'm too old a dog to learn new tricks like hiding from a couple of punk gunslingers. I handled them for 30 years, and I ain't about to hide from them now. Now you get out of my way.
It's time you stop pushing people around.
All right, mister, it's Friday night. When does he show?
Oh, about now.
But it's my job to keep order in Tombstone.
Don't you tell me about order. I got my own methods for that.
Well, I got my methods too, and you're now under protective arrest. I'm going to lock you up for the night.
All right.
Inside.
Now I'm going to show you how I used to keep order in Deadwood. You wouldn't shoot an unarmed man, would you?
No. But I'm still going to stop you.
Sorry, Sheriff. But you're meeting a man that knows every fighting trick in the book. Now I know how it feels.
Yeah, it's a rough business we're in. I know how it feels, too. Now, you stay here. I'm gonna go round up your playmates, get them out of town.
Well, I guess you mean it.
I see by your paper there's a man named Daggett settled here in Tombstone. Well? We want to buy a dozen eggs. Maybe you can tell us where Mr. Daggett's place is.
Excuse me just a minute, gentlemen. Ben, I think the place needs sweeping out. Good and clean. Do you know where the broom is?
I'll find it, Mr. Clyburn.
Now, I believe you said Daggett. Daggett.
You want us to spell it for you?
No. 2 T's. D-A-G-E-T-T.
Where's Daggett? Where is he?
Sheriff Hollister. Oh, Mr. Daggett, we've got to find the sheriff quick. Mr. Clyburn's in trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Well, some men were asking for you, and Mr. Clyburn wouldn't tell them where you lived. Well, Mr. Daggett, you used to be a marshal. See what you can do, and I'll find the sheriff.
You stay here, boy.
Where'd they go? I don't know, Sheriff. They just went out. When Daggett didn't show, they tried to pump me, but it looked like trouble.
Once more, speak up, editor.
All right, that'll be... Hey, there's 2 of them.
Sure are. Wow. Mr. Sheriff, where's Daggett?
You come looking for me. Well, here I am. Now you got a tiger by the tail, and you can't let go.
You might have pulled a bluff, Daggett, except for one thing. I know about that wrist of yours. Now, I aim to shoot you in little pieces, one at a time. You might say, an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Oh, mister, have I been waiting?
I'm gonna wrap that gun around your skull. You might shoot, but I'll keep it coming. When I get through with you, you won't have a tooth left in your head. You know me by now. Go ahead and shoot, Kenley. What's the matter? Your hand's shaking. I'll tell you what's the matter. You're remembering the Black Marshal of Deadwood. Well, when I get through with you, they'll be scraping you off of these walls. Ready?
Come on. I think he's out.
Him too. Hey, you know, Sheriff, with a little excitement like this every Friday, I wouldn't mind staying out on the ranch.
Come on, Marshal, let's lock him up.
Yeah, sure.
The Sheriff of Tombstone and the Black Marshal of Deadwood had proved to be an efficient team of lawmen. I sent for the doc.
Good. Here, keep it.
more bluffing?
No more bluffing, no more interfering. Guess I've really retired. You know, Sheriff, Tombstone's your territory.
You sure you wouldn't like to be one of my deputies?
Well, who'd mind the chicken? Well, see you tomorrow, huh, boy?
Sure.
Well, I thought you were going to sweep out for me tomorrow.
Oh, I'll find time to clean up too, Mr. Clyburn.
And what about school?
Well, that'll be a little tough to fit in.
Oh, but you'll do it, boy. You'll do it.
Yes, sir.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
The Linda Mujer Cantina in Agua Prieta, a border town south of Tombstone, Arizona Territory, June 9, 1888.
Come here, honey. I want to talk to you. Come here. Talk to old friend Marla. Where you going? You kicked me that time, Chiquita, didn't you? Okay, Chiquita. Here I come.
All right, Wade. Game's over.
Well, you're kind of far out of your way, aren't you, Sheriff?
Just far enough to get you.
Well, my ma didn't raise no fool. I'm not going to give you no argument. Not now, anyway. Say, you mind my asking what this is all about?
Ask Jamie Wilson's widow.
But I'm asking you.
Well,
Hey, you're kind of jumpy there, Hollister. Now, you know that I always travel alone. I like it that way.
Well, that's good, because that's the way you'll hang.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone territory.
June 10, 1888. The shortest route back to Tombstone was skirting the Chiricahuas. Small bands of renegade Apaches were suspected of being holed up in the area.
Say, what do you say we have a little water? I'm dry as a horny toad. Thank you.
What are you looking for? What's so fascinating back there?
Well, now, you just know that this is Apache country, you know, and Well, if they was to jump us, I just wouldn't have no chance at all. What with my hands being ironed, behind me like they are. Of course, it'd make it awful easy for you if that's what you want. Much obliged.
Late afternoon of June 10, 1888.
Get off. We'll bed down here.
About time.
Just get away from the horse.
Hey, you don't take any chances, do you?
Would you? What's the matter? You still looking for Apaches?
Oh, no, but a footloose blacksmith might come in handy. Hollister, you're a pretty good cook. One of these days you're going to make some gal a good wife.
See how good you are cleaning the dishes.
Well, sure, Sheriff. Anything to oblige. Say, Clay, something been bothering me. How come you took me for killing Jamie?
Well, to start with, you're riding his horse.
That horse? Oh, no, I bought that horse. I got a bill of sale for him, everything. I lost it, though. But still, it doesn't seem to me like you got much to go on now, does it?
People never learn, Wade. You got a mean streak, can you?
Me?
Yeah. You might have gotten away with this if it hadn't been for that.
I don't get you.
Well, it wasn't enough for you just to take the man's horse. You had to shoot him, too. Leave him for dead. Well, he died, all right. But not before he crawled up on the road. He was still alive when he was found. And he named you, Wade. He named you Plain.
That don't prove nothing. You see, Jamie always hated me, ever since I shot his kid brother. Well, I did time for that and everything, but Jamie just couldn't let well enough alone.
You'll have an opportunity to tell that to the jury, but let me ask you something, Wade. You think they're going to believe you?
Oh, now, what's the use of talking, huh? Hey, is that stuff ready yet?
Milo! Stop it, you're gonna kill him!
Good boy, Seth. I knew I could count on you. Say, just a minute. Let me get these things off. I'll be right with you. I got no hard feelings for you, Clay. It's just that a man's got to look out for himself first, isn't that right? I never did like this kind of gun. And the barrel's too long for fast work, I guess all right for some things, though, huh?
Yeah, like murder.
Here you are, Milo. Got the horses ready to travel.
Good boy. Here, keep an eye on him. Ah, this is more like it. I felt kind of naked without it. Seth, you go on back to the horses. I'll be with you in a minute.
You getting ready to give it to me like you did Jamie? He lived a good 6 hours. You'd have enjoyed watching that.
Well, go on. What are you waiting for?
You ain't gonna shoot him, are you, Milo?
No. Now, what gave you an idea like that? No, I'm just going to make sure that he doesn't follow us right off.
Well, if we take his horse, leave him and get back on him.
Hey, I know what I'm doing. Here, you take these cuffs, put them on him. Oh, Clay, would you mind putting your hands behind that tree?
They too tight?
They're all right. Go on, get down the horses. Come noon tomorrow, You're gonna wish that I had put a bullet through you. That sun's gonna cook you good. Come on, kid.
You got a mind like an Apache involving your brother in murder. Not even an Apache'd sink that low.
Milo ain't never killed nobody except in a fair fight. You lawmen just got it in for him. Can't leave a man alone.
6 years ago, he killed a boy about your age, Dave Wilson.
Milo told me about it. Wilson drawed on Milo first.
You done a good job on him, Milo. Maybe you will have hanging company after all.
You shut your rotten mouth. And nobody's got nothing on the kid. Nobody's going to hang. Come on, Seth.
Thanks, kid.
Well, come on, what's holding you? Pick up that gun belt.
A hot desert wind greeted the morning of June 11.
Howdy. Howdy. Nothing but no prospector. Say, you mind if we step down?
Why, no. Glad to have a little talking company. You're right welcome to join me for breakfast.
Well, thank you. You loosen the cinches on the horses. I'll do the talking.
Folks keep telling me it ain't worth grubbing for this far south. Just wait till I get to that there. I'll give them their comeuppance.
Well, you got to admit, it is pretty far south for silver.
Didn't say nothing about silver, mister.
Ain't nothing else worth looking for in this part of the country.
All you young'uns are alike. Think you know everything. Well, you're right about one thing. There ain't no silver down here.
Well, you know, these hills been gone over hundreds of times. If there'd been anything here, it would have been found by now.
That's so.
Sure, I mean, it's just common sense. You ask me, you're wasting your time. You ought to go up north. I understand that's where the big strikes are being brought in.
Know-it-alls. Think nobody knows nothing except themselves. Whistle a different tune now, though, we bet you bottom dollar. Call that wasting your time, mister?
I don't know. What is it?
What is it? It's gold. You darn fool. What's it look like?
Well, that's gold, huh? It don't look like much, does it? Don't hardly look worth bothering for. I mean, it looks just like so many rocks to me.
That ore ought to run 20,000 to a ton. Richest ore ever seen. Don't they teach you fellers nothing no more?
Well, I guess not, old-timer, because if I was to see a whole solid mountain of that stuff, I'd probably walk right past it.
June 11, 1888. Clay Hollister was fighting against time as the broiling sun climbed in the sky.
Thought it struck it rich lots of times, but something always seemed to go wrong. But not this time. Old Deed hit it for sure this time. Made sure wouldn't nothing go wrong.
That's good. Nothing like being careful, is there? Hey, Seth, listen, you better go get the horses ready. We got some miles to cover. You hear what I said?
June 11, 1888. Late that afternoon, Clay Hollister stumbled upon signs of life and death. The night of June 11.
Relax, kid. Now, come on. You better eat something or you're going to lose your strength.
Milo, I want to ask you something.
Sure, what is it?
How long you been lying to me about things?
Lying to you about what?
You know, like killing. The sheriff was telling the truth, wasn't he? You did kill that man for the horse, didn't you?
Well, I guess you got to learn sometime. Yeah, I killed him. I did, but he kept asking for it, Seth. You remember how old Jamie was. Every time I'd see him, he'd start in with that murdering talk of his. You know, you're a killer, Milo Wade. They ought to hung you. One of these days they're going to string you up, and that kind of talk. Till he was driving me loco, so I just shut him up. But I shut him up good. I say that, I did.
You didn't have to listen to it.
Look here, Seth. Now, you and me is brothers. See, we're blood kin. Us two is all we got in this world. Seth, you just don't know how rotten folks can be to people like us. I mean, you got nothing in your genes, so they treat you like dirt. Let me tell you something. I've had a plan for a long time now how I can beat them, Seth. You know what we're going to do? We're going to jump across the border into Mexico, and we'll buy us a place of our own, just the two of us, and we'll live a good life. No more running from people, no more wanting for things. It just...
Maybe it'd just be better if you went without me, Milo.
Without you? But you're my brother. I mean, all my life I've been worrying about you, Seth. I've been thinking, how can I make things good for the boy? You say, go without you? Well, no, sir.
You call what you did doing things for me?
Well, this is a tough world, and a man has got to twist what he wants out of it. I mean, otherwise you get nothing. You got to take what you want, so.
Like you took from that old man back there?
That? Well, sure. But what is wrong with that? I mean, an old man like that, you know, he's got one foot in the grave anyway. What's he want with all that gold, huh? Besides, he was just a stranger. What did he ever do for you and me?
He fed us.
Oh, now you're beginning to tire me, boy. Now, you're going to do what I tell you. You understand? And you're going to Mexico with me if I got to whip some sense into you. Come on, let's get some sleep, huh?
Satisfied that his brother was asleep, Seth Wade made his decision.
Seth, where are you?
Seth! Come back here! Seth? What'd I do? Seth!
Early morning, June 12th. Seth Wade had regained consciousness. His brother's bullet had passed clear through his body.
Now, you just take it easy, Seth. Old Milo will take care of you.
Hurts. Stop it from hurting.
I didn't mean it, boy. You got to believe me. I wouldn't hurt you for the world. Here, let me have a look at it.
But I couldn't let you go, Seth. You're all I got.
Oh, it hurts. Please, let me die.
No, you're not going to die. I'll get help, Seth. But you're not going to die. I promise you. Only those horses hadn't us spooked. I'll go for some help.
You hear that, Seth? Somebody heard my signal. You just hold on, boy. It's not going to be much longer. All right, Hollister, that's far enough. Now drop that rifle. Get off of that barrel. Come on up here. I can talk to you. Come on. Now, I don't know how you got loose, but right now I'm glad you did. Now, that's far enough. Now, listen to me. Seth got himself hurt. You know anything about doctoring? A little. Good. I hope for your sake you're not lying. He's over there. How'd it happen? What difference does it make? Just do something, will you?
There's nothing I can do. He needs a doctor.
Listen, don't lie to me. I swear I'll kill you where you stand.
Look, I'd help the kid if I could. You know that.
Well, will you help me get him on that burro? Then I'll take him
You'll
into
kill
town.
him if you do that. Did you do it?
Oh, it was kind of an accident.
All right. There's a doctor in McNeil, 15 miles from here.
There is? Well, maybe I could make it.
If you do, the first man that sees you'll put a bullet in you. You've been posted in every town for 50 miles.
Maybe so, but I got to take that chance.
Real fond of him, aren't you?
Well, that's a fool question, of
Well,
course.
you got just one chance to save him. I'll ride for help, but there's a condition.
What's that?
Give me your gun and wait here till I get back.
What are you, out of your mind? Clay, all right. Ride.
June 17, 1888. After 8 days on the desert, Clay Hollister had returned with his prisoner.
Well? Now, come on, talk to me. How is he? Well, is he going to live?
Yeah, but he'll never walk again. Your bullet chipped his spine.
It did.
Milo Wade began to realize that a slug from his gun had paralyzed his brother for life.
It was all his fault. I didn't mean to shoot him. Why, everything I ever did was for that boy. Everything. Does he appreciate it? No. He looks at me like I was some kind of dirt, and then while I'm trying to sleep, he goes sneaking off. That's what he does. Well, good for him. Maybe now he'll learn to appreciate what I was trying to do.
What did you do for him?
What was I trying to do? I'll tell you what I was going to do. I was going to peddle the old man's claim, and we was going to go down to Mexico and buy us a little place of our own, just the two of us. And now somebody else going to be enjoying all that gold.
There wasn't any gold, Milo.
What are you saying?
Old Dietz' ore was just iron pyrite, like all the other claims he made.
No, Hollister, I saw that gold with my own eye. It was bright yellow gold it was.
Dietz was an old man. Sometimes they get a little childish, living their dreams. Well, Dietz was like that.
Yeah.
Always dreaming, always making the biggest strikes. They were always iron pyrite.
Yeah, but I mean, it was yellow. I mean, iron isn't yellow.
Iron pyrite is. That's why they call it fool's gold.
Fool's gold? Fool's gold? But, well, ain't that something? All of that for nothing, for fool's gold? Well, that's some joke on me, isn't it, Hollister? Fool's gold.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, July 7, 1884. The date that marked the arrival of Barton Clark, Jr.
How do you like the West, Barton?
From what I've seen, it should be very interesting. Glad my father was finally convinced that I should learn more about life. Under controlled conditions, of course.
Oh?
Oh, Dad's quite a remarkable man.
Yeah, I can vouch for that, Clay. I had wanted Barton here to help me out over at the epitaph, but...
Well, no offense, Mr. Cliburn, but I certainly would like a job here.
Here?
Yes, sir. Could I be one of your deputies?
Well, Lee here's my regular, and I have other good, experienced men to call on it.
Well, I'll do anything for no pay.
All right. If you don't mind starting at the bottom, I guess I could use a handyman, jailer.
Do I get to wear one of these?
Well, no, I'm afraid you'll have to wait for that. My ceiling couldn't stand it.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone territory.
The afternoon of July 7, 1884. Clay Hollister painstakingly explained the operation of the sheriff's office. Barton Clark, Jr. was a good student.
Now, there's certain rules of safety that have to be observed with the prisoners. Remember, they're all in there for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Now, you always walk down the center of the corridor, never close to the cell doors. And since you won't be wearing a gun for a while, always carry this. If anybody should make a grab for you, a good whack across the forearm will make them pull back. Now, you never go back there alone carrying the keys. Till we've got you broken in, Lee or I will lock up and release all the prisoners. These guns are all unloaded. We do have
We do have a trouble gun. Thought I'd tell you just in case.
Time to make the rounds. You want to tag along, lawman? Learn more about life?
I'll go along with you. You got any questions?
No, not at the moment, sir.
Sure. You might show me a little respect too, Deputy.
Yes, sir.
Late afternoon, July 7, 1884. Tombstone's Tivoli Saloon.
Keep your eyes open. Mi amor, mi corazón.
Clay.
This the new boy? Finish your drink, Rose.
Rose?
Yeah. Rosa Rio Bravo.
Shall we go?
Take her in, Lee. I'm gonna check her out. She probably got more men staked out.
Rose of Rio Bravo, wanted for crimes from rustling to robbery, and with a record of countless love affairs and daredevil escapes, was again under lock and key.
Well, here we are again, Clay.
Yeah, you must feel quite at home.
I've seen better and worse. You know that.
Well, I hope you're comfortable. Mi amor. She's gonna need some privacy till they pick her up from Texas. Hang up some blankets at night.
Yes, sir.
Who would ever think of that slip of a girl as a Rose of the Rio Bravo?
Dynamite comes in little packages.
Rio Bravo?
Mexican name for the Rio Grande below the border. According to reports, she drove thousands of head of cattle across the Bravo while the customs official slept.
Or, thanks to her charms, looked the other way.
You sure seem to know an awful lot about her, Clay.
Well, it's my business to know about wanted people.
You spent some time in Texas before you came here, didn't you?
That's right, Harris. Lee, you book her. I'm gonna wire El Paso.
Mr. Hollister, what do you want me to do?
Get the suppers.
I think I got everything.
We won't have to feed her long. Should be hearing from El Paso in the morning.
Hold it, kid.
Yeah, you've always got to count the silverware. Bent forks open many a lock. Oh, and incidentally, be careful of Rose. She's walked out of stronger jails than this one.
Yes, sir.
It's over here.
Supper, ma'am.
Just pass it through. Thank you.
Welcome.
Did you take out the loads?
Yes, sir. Only a tenderfoot would fiddle around with a loaded gun.
You better go pick up the dishes.
Yes, sir. You didn't eat much.
I can see you don't eat here.
Oh, no, the editor and I, Mr. Clyburn, are going to have dinner later at the Maison Dorée.
Must be very expensive.
I really don't know yet. I just opened an account. I guess I'll find out.
You're very interesting for a lawman. You dress well. I like that.
Thank you.
Would you do me a favor?
Anything. Within reason.
Well, I'm tired of these things. I guess they weren't a very good disguise anyway.
What's this?
My sizes and what I need to be a woman again.
One petticoat, one pair.
You don't mind shopping for a lady, do you?
Oh, no.
Here.
Keep it. You keep it, Rose. You're in enough trouble already.
Thank you.
The morning of July 10, 1884. Young Clark was showing an impressive dedication to his job.
Well, you're gonna earn that badge yet. How's everybody in the hotel?
Rose isn't up yet.
Well, you see, being in jail is kind of like being in the Army. You rise and shine for morning inspection.
Morning, Smiley.
Anybody home?
Be right there.
Everybody's accounted for. You better get the breakfasts.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You have good taste. You like it?
Oh, yeah. I better get your breakfast.
And bring mine, too.
Barton. She'll be going back to Texas real soon.
Yes, sir.
The evening of July 15. Extradition proceedings were delayed. Rose of Rio Bravo had been in the Tombstone jail a week.
I'm lucky.
What'll they do to you?
That's my worry. Oh, you don't have to. How much does that make it anyway? $500. I don't think I've ever seen that much money. Not that it'll do me much good now.
What about the cattle?
What cattle?
The stolen cattle. You did steal them, didn't you?
You believe that too? Let me tell you the truth, Barton. My father used to bring in cattle from Mexico and drive them north to market. It was a way of life. Then came the crooked politicians. Pay 50 cents a head to drive them into the Rio Bravo. Another 50 cents a head to get them on American soil. Tribute to Mexican officials, tribute to American officials. So what do?
That still doesn't give you the right to steal.
Steal? You drive them across at night and risk being shot at in the bargain. Graft, nothing but graft on both sides of the border.
What about the other men?
What other men?
No.
Men just seem to want to marry me. I win again.
Yeah.
Want a deal? Cut. Yes, Mr. Clark.
I don't want to play anymore.
I don't want to play anymore either. Don't fall in love with me.
I already have.
Mi amor, mi corazón.
The night of July 16, 1884.
Hey, got a little something for you.
Hey, you're making me a deputy.
Oh, well, not yet. You're still a jailer, but now it's official. You come a long way since that day you shot the hole in my ceiling.
Congratulations, Mr. Clark.
I got a wire Dad. He'll get a real wallop out of this.
Clay.
Yelly.
Night wire. Extradition papers are in order. Deputy will be through tomorrow on his way to Texas to pick up Rose.
You know, it seems a shame that a bright, pretty girl like Rose ever got started on a career like hers.
Yeah. Call it a night, Lee. I'll take the late rounds.
Right.
Hey, Lee. What'll they do to her?
Well, in Texas, they got a lot of rope.
They'll hang her?
Been known to hang a man for stealing one horse. No telling how many herds she spirited across the border.
You know, maybe she had her reasons.
Yeah, money.
Yeah, but hanging.
Hey, Barton. You better call it a night, too.
Yes, sir.
Barton Clark Jr. didn't call it a night. There were still more questions that had to be answered.
What about the robberies?
Well, what about them?
How do you explain them? I want to know.
You want to know. What about the robberies? What about the men? What about the cattle? Well, let me ask you a question, Barton Clark Jr. What right have you to know? I'm not on trial before you. What right do you have to ask me all these things?
Because I don't want you to hang, that's why.
I don't want to hang either. Above all, I don't want to hang now. There's nothing you can do.
I'm not going to let you hang. Here, you'll need money. You better take this.
Barton, come with me.
I can't. We'll meet later. I'll try to cover this somehow. I better check outside.
No, Rose. Not this time.
Let's go. Let's go.
July 17, 1884.
Still no leads?
Lee's checking. He sure gave up an awful lot for her.
I don't know what to wire his father.
But he wanted Barton to learn about life, didn't he? With Rose, he's learning. How much money do you have with him?
I don't know, a few thousand, I guess. He's got a fortune set up for him in trusts, his inheritance.
Yeah, at least she can't get her hands on that.
How's ahead?
Fine, fine.
Clay,
Yeah?
your wire's paid off. They took a train from Tucson to Los Angeles.
Los Angeles?
Yeah, he's probably trying to lose themselves in the city. Well, they're about to be found. That's my favorite gun.
I'm going with you.
It's up to you.
I gotta. His father said something else. I took it as a joke at the time. It doesn't seem so funny now. He said not to let him get killed.
I hope he doesn't.
Clay Hollister and I took the stage to Tucson and the first train to Los Angeles. July 21, 1884, the City of Angels. But the girl we were looking for didn't wear wings. July 22. If they were still in Los Angeles, they had covered their whereabouts well.
Well, there's not many hotels left. I'll go check those at the other end of Main
All right,
Street.
remember, she's probably disguised as a boy. No, I was wrong. She's disguised as a lady.
See you tonight?
Right.
I wonder where Barton is.
I'll say this for her, she's here fast on her feet.
I hoped Rose would lead us to Barton. Straightening him out was as important to me as capturing the outlaw queen.
Rose. Where have you been?
Shopping. The dresses had to be altered.
Come in. Please. I thought we'd better eat in. Maybe leave for San Francisco tomorrow. We can't be too careful.
I don't want to leave yet.
Well, I have a feeling we should.
Can we afford San Francisco?
I found somebody that would cash one of my checks. Dad'll be finding out about it soon. I'll get a job.
The house detective informed us 2 people answering their descriptions registered under different names. We warned him that they were armed.
Locked. But they're in there. Any other way in? Balcony. Show me. You wait here, Clay.
No shooting unless you have to.
Naturally, I've been thinking how wrong it was, what we did back there. Yet I've never been happier.
You're a smart young man, Barton. Don't trust me too far.
It's too late.
To us?
Here, open it.
It's beautiful. $20 gold piece.
As long as you wear it, we'll never go broke. Read the inscription.
I think I can tell you what it says. Mi amor, mi corazón, huh? My love, my heart. All right, Harris, keep an eye on her. She's got my other gun around here somewhere. Barton, let's go. Your father'll be wondering where you are.
Hold it!
The night of July 22, 1884.
Where's Rose?
He's in jail again.
Dad always said look for the good in people. There's a lot of good in Rose. A lot of bad in me, I guess. Sorry, Clay.
You better not talk anymore.
You're a newspaper man. You have a pencil and paper. My last will and testament. I leave all my inheritance to Rose.
Well, Barton, your will won't be necessary. The doctor says you're going to live.
But I'll have to take you back. There are going to be charges.
I can face those. It's Dad.
I don't blame you. But remember, like you said, he's a remarkable man. He's asleep.
He's going to be all right. Won't take him as long to get over that bullet hole as it will to get over Rose.
How long did it take you? Or did you? Rose of Rio Bravo was sentenced to 10 years in prison by a sympathetic male jury. She was soon released by the warden, who developed a keen interest in her case.
Mi amor, mi corazón.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.